Hey guys, Angus here, bringing another Airsoft product review today. However, today's video is not going to be on my Tokyo Marui MP7A1, it's actually going to be on the optic on top of it. Today's review is going to be of the AIM Sports Multi-Rectical Airsoft Red Dot sight. This is the Warfare edition of this sight. It's also available in the Spec Ops Edition. Now, if you're interested in purchasing this sight after you watch this review, there will be a link down below in the description to airsoftstation.com where you can buy it for about $50. Now, with that being said, I'm rather impressed by the AIM Sports sight here. It's a nice low-profile CQB style sight with the multi-rectical option, various different settings on here that differ from the norm of the standard multiple dots. Instead, here you get a couple different options for you to aim with when looking through the sight. Let's take a look at those, but first let's cover a little bit about the construction on this sight. It's made phenomenally well out of metal. Solid little sight, as you can see, brightly painted on the left side of the sight the words AIM, and on the opposite side you will have also painted in white these words Warfare Edition, of course differing to Spec Ops Edition if you were to purchase that model. The sight's very nice. These type of sights that are low profile, meant to go on CQB, AEGs, or AEPs in the case of my MP7, offer great eye relief, and they're just rather nice sights. I actually own a sight like this in this exact style myself. So let me go ahead and show you some of the reticles on this red dot sight. Now, as you can see, your reticle options are located just below the rear of the sight on a small switch. The reticles are detailed rather nicely with bright white paint, stand out rather well. I don't think it's going to fade anytime soon until you actually abuse this thing in the field. Over a couple months it may deteriorate, but otherwise right now the paint's on there to stay and it stands out rather nicely. Now, as you can see, the first reticle set up to the left is sort of a bow tie looking reticle. Really not sure if there's an exact term for it. When you switch the switch to the left, the next reticle will be just a standard little triangle. If you were to switch it even farther over, you'll come to a smiley face, and the last reticle is a skull. So as you can see, this sight differs a little bit in the type of reticles you'll be seeing. I know on the one I personally own, it's just a standard different sizes of dots and occasional crosshair. This sight changes it up a little bit more fun with the cool reticles instead of the standard ones. Get a nice smiley face, skull, different reticles as opposed to the norm. Now, as for how the sight attaches, it's extremely simple. You simply would unscrew the side panel there, pull it off, and then use the included Allen key to screw it back on, exactly like any other sight. What I mainly want to show you in this clip is essentially how nicely detailed and nicely painted on the word AIM is. And if you were to flip over the sight, you will get the words Warfare Edition as opposed to the Spec Ops Edition that you would see on the other model. Again, these are painted on rather nicely. Now, as for the brightness settings on this sight, now in order to access and change your brightness levels, you simply use the large dial in dead center of the sight. Now, the large dial is marked with various markings in both red and green coloring. That's because this sight has two different color options for when you're looking through. You can either look at a red reticle or a green reticle. Now, as you can see, currently the dial is set to the red letter R. This is, of course, for red. If it was green, it would be a bright green G. Now, when it is set to the letter of the color dot, that means the sight is currently turned off. However, if you were to rotate the dial to one of the various numbers in either red or green, the sight would turn on in that selected brightness level. As you can see by the 3, this sight has a total of 3 different brightness levels for each dot, red and green. 1 being the lowest, and 3 being the brightest, 2 being an in-between. More so, you want to use those lower settings for indoor games and those brighter settings for outdoor when you may have some sunlight glaring at you and you need a brighter reticle to look at. And there you have a quick review of the AIM Sports MRS Red Dot sight in the Warfare Edition. There's really not too much I can say about it, seeing as how all it is an Airsoft replica sight. Really not too much to talk about. All I can say that if you're going for a low-profile CQB style sight, these sights are an excellent option, and AIM certainly designed a great one with the nice metal construction. Feels rather nice and a rather solid sight. Has some great eye relief on it when you just simply look up, and it's just a rather nice sight with the various different reticles. Allows you to have a little bit more fun instead of the normal just dots. Get a couple cool ones like the smiley face and the skull. I would show you the reticles, however my camera can't pick it up in this sort of low light condition, and they simply just look like red or green blurs, so really no point in showing you guys those. But they do look exactly as they do on the small pictures on the reticle adjustment. You get a total of 3 different brightness levels for both a green and red dot, And just a rather nice sight. I really do like how it comes with a spare battery, so that way if this battery ever dies, I've already got one that I can go ahead and replace. Don't need to go out and buy a spare one. They give it to me. So with that being said, this has just been Deathcore Airsoft's quick overview of the AIM Sports MRS Warfare Edition Red Dot sight. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.